Welcome to today's session at Digital Africa at the Youth Map Power Workshop. My name is Kenneth with Digital Africa, and I'll show you more about Digital Africa and how you can use it for your greener jobs. Thank you, or welcome.
Welcome to a new dawn in Nairobi, a city brimming with potential and the promise of a brighter future. Here, young minds unite to craft innovative solutions for a sustainable future. They come together with a shared vision and a common goal. In this vibrant metropolis, we stand at the crossroads of opportunity and challenge. The bustling streets and dynamic energy of Nairobi serve as both inspiration and a call to action. Today, we gather not just to discuss, but to act with purpose and vision. Our voices are strong, our intentions clear. Together, we confront the challenges of pollution, green space creation, and the nurturing of green jobs. These are not just issues, they are opportunities for transformation. By cultivating urban gardens and promoting eco-friendly jobs, we lay the groundwork for a sustainable future. Our efforts are planting the seeds of change. In every corner of Nairobi, young leaders are making a tangible difference, leading community cleanups, planting trees, and pioneering sustainable businesses. Their actions ripple through the community, inspiring others to join the cause. Planting trees is more than an act of beautification. It is a commitment to the environment and future generations. Sustainable businesses are the backbone of our economic and ecological resilience. By harnessing the power of geographic information systems, or GIS, we map our path forward. These tools allow us to visualize our city in new ways. With satellite images and mapping tools, we see the unseen, identifying environmental challenges and opportunities. This technology empowers us to make informed decisions. Guided by the expertise of Dr. Kenneth Mube, we chart cleaner, greener futures, enabling sustainable urban development. In this room, ideas will flow, knowledge will be shared, and actions will be formed. Together, we shape a future that belongs to the children. Picture this, a Nairobi where innovation meets action, where young leaders drive change and create lasting impact. This is our vision. This is the promise of youth power. Join us as we write a new chapter in the story of our city. With tools like GIs and the wisdom of our leaders, we set forth on a journey of hope and resilience. Be the change, create the future, make a lasting impact. Welcome to Youth Power, where innovation meets action. Together, we are the architects of a sustainable Nairobi. Our journey is just beginning, and the possibilities are endless. Join us and be part of the change. Together, we can create a Nairobi that thrives for generations to come. This is our city, our future, our responsibility. Let's build it together. Let's make it sustainable. Let's make it. This is youth power. This is our movement. This is our time. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are youth power. With tools like GIS and the wisdom of our leaders, we set forth on a journey of hope and resilience. Be the change. Create the future. Welcome to Youth Pawa, where innovation meets action. Welcome to...
So thank you for joining us in today's presentation. We'll be sharing more on how Digital Africa can unlock the promise of tomorrow, the patterns of the past. So Digital Africa program was set up 4 years ago with the objective to connect all the sectors, government, scientists, private sector, civil society, and young people like you, address various challenges from agriculture, water, land regulation, urbanization, and coastal erosion. We remained very committed to provide fit-for-purpose services. This is a continental program powered by Open Data Technology and uses Amazon Web Services, who are also located in Cape Town, South Africa. The program is currently hosted by RIS in South Africa and working with partners across the continent to make sure you access this important platform. And the program has co-developed continental services from coastline to observation, and cropland extent. I'll be able to show you more. In a nutshell, the program is providing satellite data in analysis-ready format from the space agencies. From Europe's Space Agency, we have Sentinel-1 and Sentinel-2, and from the US Geological Service, we have Landsat 5, 7, 8, and 9. Very key to unlocking the potential of the work you can do, and you can see some of the examples, looking at coastlines, crops, even monitoring the water resources, key to help countries achieve sustainable development goals. The water observation from space was co-developed with partners in the year 2020, and the objective was to show water availability from space. And we did a lot of validation with our partners, imagining water body can access over 35 years of data. And the food security uses Sentinel-2 at 10 meters, very key to unlocking the potential of agriculture. Crop monitoring, you can see start of a season and planting and harvesting, very key to support countries in their missions. The coastline service is also key, showing coastline service for 38 countries in Africa and showing hotspots, rates of change, and average yearly shorelines from the year 2000 to the year 2023. Very key in unlocking coastal management, looking at mangroves, looking at various developments along the coast. This is just an example of how you can look at some examples, the continent, Mozambique, Madagascar, and imagine the possibilities for countries. The water body services was developed after the water observation from space, showing individual water bodies over 700,000, and very key to unlock over 35 years of data. Is imagine wetlands that you've seen when you were young. You might have heard stories that they had dried or were flooded, and we can use this service to actually confirm. The program has been working with partners across the continent. We are looking at various countries, connecting all the stakeholders together and the partners. And here we just show some of the examples from Earth observation, for conservation, rehoming of giraffes in Kenya, for example, and also mangroves in Zanzibar, just as an example. For the case of Kenya, we worked with the North London Trust and our partner, Global Partnership for Sustainable Data, as well as the Kenya Wildlife Service to provide the relevant information how giraffes that were located on the local island here were put here 50 years ago by the community of the Samburu, and over time the community realized the diminishing resources of the island, as well as the coastal floods in the lake, especially in September, needed the attention that they could be relocated to a safe sanctuary. And looking at the events of the floods 2019 and 2020, these giraffes were rehomed in the April of 2021 with this great effort of the community and using Earth observation to actually guide the process. Moving to East Africa, Zanzibar, worked with the State University of Zanzibar, the lecturers and the youth mappers, their students, and the community to actually map mangroves and actually see how we can save mangroves in terms of restoration. I wish to show you a small demonstration of this case, which is very key for empowering us.
Kisiwa hichi nilikuwa nakijua nilipokuwa mdogo. Kwanza samaki walikuwa wengi. Lakini sasa hivi mafuriko yanatishia amani.
The pressure of the salt water is coming in the villages. Without mangrove, after maybe 20, 25 years, Zanzibar will disappear. No Zanzibar.
Natumaini mambo yatabadilika.
I'm Zanzibarian and I'm living in these small islands in Zanzibar. And I personally experience the impacts of the climate change to my localities. The damage of the houses, damage of the infrastructure, displacement of the people from one place to another, brackish drinking water. Because of the impact of the climate change, that is saltwater intrusion, this is happening now. When we have mangroves along the coastal area, they are used to protect the earth from coastal erosion.
Mangrove is necessary for fish because the small fish live in the upper root of mangroves.
Mangroves play an essential role to the society by absorbing large amount of the carbon dioxide. Mangrove has ability to absorb about 3 to 4 times the carbon dioxide over the other forests. Climate change impacts the survival of this mangrove. Anthropogenic influences severely impact the mangroves and the ecosystem. They are cutting down these mangroves because of their man-made activities. They preferred firewood material from those mangroves. They were not aware of the advantages of mangrove, and also they were not aware on the impact of the climate change. What are the proper measures to be taken so as to combat these impacts?
These mappers are student-led shifters around the world, and they help in creating and utilizing the open data. With the open data, they help in portraying what is happening in the community and what people are facing across the world. So what they do is they create maps and they create mappers. They make sure that they extract the data from the community because the community, they have more knowledge on their environments.
I will use this to take the area that is affected with climate change, like coastal area, and to visualize to my society to see this is real effect.
But in addition to that, they also give them education on climate change. The students build their capacities and they learn new tools, new technologies that are available. And from there, they help in creating open data, and open data is used by the government and by other different stakeholders to make informed decisions.
Digital Earth Africa is a platform that offers ready-made satellite data. As a geoinformer, I have skills of Earth observation data on how to use geospatial tools to solve the problem that the Earth is facing today. Through these technologies such as Earth observation data, we can have information that show the Earth now and before.
We can use spatial data in mangroves to see if the mangrove have been destroyed in past few years, or the mangrove have been grown, or any change that has been taking place in a certain area. Because we can combine that data in a real map, and then we can use it to get different ideas and decisions.
They can understand from those images as this is the place where people go and cut the trees.
In Digital Earth Africa, people are sharing their knowledge. The guys who made that platform, Dr. Ken, he's willing to help everyone to understand what they are doing there, to share, to do. The big data that is available through the various platforms like Digital Earth Africa running on the AWS, these are the game changers. The information on the Digital Earth Africa platform helps the State University of Zanzibar lecturers and youth mappers to actually be able to get more information about the trends, which is available from the analysis ready data. Looking at some of the products we've developed with the career students, the one for mangrove changes. So they actually see a rise in mangroves in this area, or maybe there was a loss of mangroves in certain areas. So they can actually see the areas that they need to prioritize and also help us to invalidate in what they get from the platform for us to improve our processing. As the image in the Digital Earth Africa spans over 30 years plus, they've been able to get time series analysis of the mangroves and see some of the areas, how the trends are being. Initially, they started with the Landsat data at 30 meters, and now they're using Sentinel-2 at 10 meters. They're able to get much information. At Digital Earth Africa, we are dealing with petabytes of information. It has to be on a web service where we can actually update it as much as possible. We are looking also going beyond 5 petabytes for the continent.
Land cover changes. We can observe climate variability, to model maybe the floods, to model the coastal erosion. So as if you want maybe to add some features to that model, you can do that in Digital Earth Africa.
We are working with Raya, who's been able to mentor the students. Career has been able to showcase the value for mangroves assessment using the Digital Earth Africa platform. The values of citizen-generated science and the champions is coming out very strongly.
I have already gained the knowledge about climate change, and I will use that knowledge to instruct others, to teach others, to engage with the groups that perform the activities to reduce the climate change. And as you know, everywhere now the climate change is the issues. So I hope that this will be reduced, but the technology is required for it.
The champions are actually the driving force of some of the needs and priorities of our products. So once we engage with the champions, they'll tell us what they want to see. They want more data, high resolution. We listen to them. This gives us a motivation to see what other products and data we could actually add from our side to deliver the service to everyone in the continent.
And I hope through these technologies, they can help us to provide awareness to the communities on what is the role of the mangroves to the society. So now they are realizing that, oh, we are not supposed to cut this tree, and instead we have to plant this tree as much as possible.
Some of the youth mapper students are also volunteering at Zaveco. And one of the projects that they do is to plant more mangroves. So they preserve the areas with their mangroves, and they try to make sure that they plant more and more.
Just cutting maybe one, planting 25, or cutting two, just planting 1,000. We have more than 200 people now planting every Saturday. And we have planned that when we arrive here, 1,000 seats, our NASA, in one day.
State University of Zanzibar, they are training their students, so the students will be the champions. And one day in the future, the student might be the president of Tanzania or somewhere. So they'll be able to use this to make very good informed decisions. In Africa, which says that alone you can move faster. However, as a village, we can actually move further.
We join hands and we join our forces in making sure we combat these climate change issues.
So from climate change and the great presentation and documentation from Amazon Web Services, we've also worked with our partner Esri to be able to document this coastline as a dashboard covering 38 countries. And you can see the growth and retraction of the coastline over time. And this is available through this Esri dashboard, and the link will be shared with you in the presentation. Digital Africa is key at recognizing diversity and inclusion, working with the students and the youth, as you've seen from Tanzania, and also supporting Africa Women in GIS in their technical challenges, and also youth mappers. We've been able to identify some champions in Uganda, Malawi, Tanzania, and Sierra Leone. And currently, one of the champions in Sierra Leone is working on a project to empower small-scale farmers, showing them rice farming. And also the partners that we work with in continent, they will also provide a lot of mentorship to these persons. So Africa Women Challenge, we have our champion Jokotola Obiji, doctor from Nigeria, and Sinatemba in South Africa. And this network is empowering most of our young people to be actually more informed. And also Digital South Africa is at heart supporting youth mappers and in our recent engagements in the Youth Mapper Technical Kenya chapter, where we had a lot of persons connecting. And also recently we were at the OpenStreetMap State of the Map Kenya. Access to the platform is possible in Digital Africa through the Digital Africa Map and Sandbox, as well as the other GIS software like QGIS or Esri. And also we provide free online training courses, self-paced, and you get a certificate of participation. I'll be able to show you a link. Then our data and data collaboration with Esri is possible through the Africa Geo portal, which also provides other data sets which are key to empower your knowledge. Also, access to the platform is also possible through other web map services, which are very key to unlock the various APIs. And I'll be able to show you just how to use the Digital Africa map. And from this small demo, you can see from our website, you can access the platform, and there's a sandbox, the other geo portal, and other resources. And clicking on the Digital Africa map, so you can search Nairobi, Kenya, navigate, zoom in, and you can change the base map. And you can add a recent imagery from what we have. We have the surface water, we have the satellite images, surface reflectance, daily reflectance. We can add Sentinel-2 at 10 meters, just filter for by location, Nairobi. You'll see an imagery of 9th September. And you can choose also to do comparison with an image of, let's say, 2017 around the same time. You can see the comparison, 2 dates. You might observe the August on the 2017 was also a wet month. It's quite raining compared to what we have around on September. You can see the changes over time, the different landscapes. And you can also change the bands from the vegetation index, just to have a feel of vegetation cover over time. These are uplands of Nairobi. You can also choose to do a difference or export. Then I will remove everything and add something on water. As an example, we could go to like Baringo example. Here you explore and add surface water per year, so that we can see the comparison every year. You change the legend to look at the water frequency from red being no water and blue water. You can see the different years. And you can see south is a small lake called Lake 94. And you can do a comparison to the different dates. You can also change the base map as well. And you can choose to share the results in a link, which you can copy and share in an email, or even create a story map. So this was just one of the examples, the workarounds that we have. Then access to the sandbox, free registration with your email, and you're able to sign up. So this one just is a small tutorial on how to use the sandbox and access it. So this is the user guide, which shows you just step by step. The different folders that you can access for your data. And all the folders have different examples that we can start with, the data sets, the beginner's guide, as well as the real world examples, which are very key for your work. And then we have a GitHub repository to look at more documentation, like the coastline example. And it's more of a collaboration effort with partners across the continent. So these are some of the examples we have on the sandbox, different thematic areas, and all step by step. We have tutorials that we develop every week in English and French, and we have the live sessions, which you're welcome to join. So specifically for agriculture, we have several notebooks, crop health, and also vegetation conditions. And you can see all the documentation. Then this is an example of crop health monitoring, an example of where in Kenya. You can look at the vegetation index over time, different times, based on the planting and harvesting. We also have forecasting vegetation, which is very key to forecast vegetation the next 2 months, for example. We have vegetation index and animation with rainfall, which is also very key to connect vegetation and rainfall. We also have libraries notebooks to help you monitor the vegetation change detection, as vegetation phenology as well. And this is just an example of the phenology. We can use optical data Sentinel-2, 10 meters, as well as the radar at Sentinel-1, which gives you the radar vegetation index, and you can see a good comparison. And also we can generate vegetation anomalies at 30 meters for each country or at different levels, which is very key to unlock potential of drought or different seasons. We have notebooks to support monitoring the wetlands, water extent, as well as the water quality from space. And this is just an example for Lake Baringo, looking at the water extent over time, as well as the vegetation conditions around the lake. This is another example of Lake Ulubulwas, which from the reports has diminished over time, as you can see, from 84 to actually 2022, over 35 years of data, which is very key for unlocking development and water management. This is an example of using Sentinel-1 to show the impact of recent floods in Kenya, dates in March and dates in May. We can see the situation in this particular example. So in the Digital Africa map, we have the water bodies extent, showing you the extent of the Masinga Dam. Then here we have the Sentinel at different dates, the one in March and the one in May. Then we can see the areas in orange which were impacted by floods, and very key for the government to inform people living downstream of these impacts of floods and how to peacefully coexist when these events occur over time. So this is the water body service showing you the different extents. And for those who remember, around the year 2000, there was quite some drought and the dam was at its lowest. Then it picked up over time. Then it had some drought points around 2017 and picked up very well. And that has been the trend. This is an example of water quality from space. It's an example of Lake Bogoria, Lake Turkana. Then looking at flood assessment, an example we had for Lokoja, Nigeria, and this notebook can work also for any location in Africa. Then we have the mangroves and coastal erosion as the examples from Zanzibar, empowering yourself to do the analysis. It's an example of monitoring mangroves in Wilda Creek in Kenya, this area around Matamu. It's another example of coastal line. You can generate coastlines over 23 years. It's a very good example to inform coast management plans. And then for urbanization, we have these notebooks, which you can see the change of Nairobi over time and the growth over time in supporting different government plans. Then we have other notebooks like the one for monitoring the regulation of mining or monitoring ships in the ocean. Then we have step-by-step tutorials, online courses that we develop. We get a certificate of participation, where we start with introduction to sandbox, and we could go now next to water resources, agriculture, land degradation, urbanization. And it's just some outlines of the courses that we could develop with our partners in the continent to make sure we develop what is required and what is needed. For example, of agriculture, urbanization, water, and the coastline course. And these are the resources, such as the live sessions that we have every week and some of the topics that we cover. And all these are updated on the YouTube channel. And please subscribe and connect with us. And thank you, the Youth Power, for this opportunity together for change for our progress tomorrow. Thank you so much, and we'll stay connected.